Well, it's been a really disappointing night for Newcastle here at the Emirates Stadium. I think they went into the game, hoping to continue, that spirit after being uplifted by, Cardiff losing. I mean, they got off the plane here in London yesterday to the news that, Cardiff had lost and that 7-point gap was still in place. But really now, they've got to look at themselves after a nice performance. I think while it was always going to be tough against Arsenal, I think Newcastle had much more in the lockers than they showed tonight. I think when you look at some of the performances this season, they've beaten the likes of Manchester City at home. They've proved they can match the top teams in terms of effort, but tonight was really poor defensively. They were undone a couple of times. The second goal particularly disappointing, the way Aubameyang and Lacazette worked a 1-2. It was almost a half-hearted 1-2, but they found the finish, and really Arsenal could have went on and got further goals. I think we'll look back on this night and think it's probably the worst performance of the season for Newcastle in terms of since the turn of the year anyway, in terms of the way they applied themselves. Hopefully the Crystal Palace game gives them that opportunity to bounce back relatively quickly. I think you look at those games, particularly at home against the teams in Newcastle's sort of mini league, if you like, and Crystal Palace are one of the teams that they should be able to get the victory against. How many points are going to be enough? I suppose that's quite irrelevant, because realistically Newcastle will be looking towards finishing higher than just staving off relegation. So they need the 3 points, I think, just to get that box ticked and get safe and get that win. Crystal Palace, obviously a team, they drew 0-0 with earlier in the season, but at home Newcastle have showed they can match the intensity of teams coming there with a game plan. They couldn't quite do that tonight, especially in the final third. Almiron and Perez were probably a little bit disappointing.